अस्सलाम वालेकुम।
Assalamu alaikum.
Assalamu warahmatullah. Am I audible and visible?
Alhamdulillah. Just wait after principal is coming to inaugurate.
Oh, fine.
Yes, sir.
Well, sir, let us start the program.
முதல்ல ரெஜிஸ்டர் பண்ண எவ்வளோ கிளிக் பண்ணணும் எங்கடா போற எதுடா போற கேள்வி அப்போட சொல்லு
Sir, thank you very much. Organizing secretary.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. In the name of Almighty Allah, most gracious and merciful, whose bounties are unbounded, whose benevolence is everlasting, whose blessings are uncountable, whose being is eternal, whose mercy is unlimited, whose provisions are unending, whose love is our life, whose worship is our faith. A very good morning to everyone present here. With warm greetings, it gives me a great pleasure to extend a warm welcome on behalf of the Department of English, C.Abdul College, which is conducting a one-day international webinar on English as Window on the World. It is a mark of our undying tradition to invoke the Almighty at the beginning of an important event. Like the great philosopher once said, the function of the prayer is not to influence God, but rather to change the nature of one who prays. May I invite Mr. K. Shafiuddin, Assistant Professor in English, to recite a few verses from the Holy Quran, invoking the choicest blessing of all merciful Allah.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم والضحى والليل إذا سجى ما ودعك ربك وما قلى وللآخرة خير لك من الأولى ولسوف يعطيك ربك فترضى ألم يجدك يتيما فآوى ووجدك ضالا فهدى ووجدك عائلا فأغنى فأما اليتيم فلا تقهر وأما السائل فلا تنحر وأما بنعمة ربك فحدث صدق الله العظيم.
Thank you, sir. Kindness is always fashionable and welcome. Leaders become great not because of their power, but because of their ability to empower others. I am happy to invite Professor C.Abdul, Head of the Department of English, to welcome the gathering.
In the name of Allah, the most beneficent, merciful. Assalamu alaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. And a very good morning to all. First of all, I thank all the people of Allah for congregating us at this memorable hour. I deem it an honor to welcome you all. Hearty welcome to all the viewers across the country and globe. Warm greetings and cordial welcome to the most respected patron of the webinar and our beloved principal, Dr. S.A. Sajid, whose munificent cooperation needs volumes to describe. I welcome him in all humility and reverence. With pride and pleasure, I spread a silky carpet, brilliant red, in high esteem of the most distinguished guest speaker, and an orator endowed with exceptional skills. Dr. Akhtar Habib Shah, Assistant Professor of English. Prince Sattam bin Abdul Aziz, Saudi Arabia. I welcome him with a warm heart, overflowing with joy and jubilation. My gentle feelings swing in glee as I welcome all the ardent votaries of English language and literature and inspiring icons of thinking who who are but scholar replicas of the intellectual evidence. I ring the verbal bells of Francis, welcoming Dr. S. Muhammad Yasir, Head Department of Urdu and coordinator of NCPL Studies Center, and his teammates who always rush to cater to the educational needs of the campus. I deem it an honor in welcoming all my departmental colleagues, especially Professor R. Panindrao sir, who was instrumental in organizing this webinar. I take pleasure in ventilating my cordial welcome in solid felicitation of all students, scholars, and well-wishers. Hearty welcome once again. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your warm welcome. Introduction of the chief guest. Confidence and hard work are the key to success. And to share the keys with us, I request Professor A. Naresh Kumar, Assistant Professor of English, to introduce the guest of honor to the gathering.
A very good morning to you all. Dr. Akhtar Habib Sir, an ace achiever of academic excellence and a golden arrow pointed towards an Eldorado of splendid scholarship, is officiating as Assistant Professor in English at Prince Saddam bin Abdulaziz University, Saudi Arabia. His subject expertise and its vibrant peregrinations across the globe for about 8 long years, scattering a fulgurant spark of intellectual efficiency in different universities. A celebrated scholar, Prince ruling the academic dome of modern English fiction with an exotic focus on conflict studies, Dr. Akhtar Habib is a verbal ambassador of Kashmir imbroglium in modern English fiction. A writer richly gifted with verbal flow and verbal cascades of ingenious ideas, he has in his jewel box 14 research articles published in different literary journals of national and international standing that vouchsafe supremacy of literature in the realms of search and research. His fond belief that literary journals are like the national highway for promoting all the four skills is endorsed as a valid document of fact, for excellence and for eminence. His mastery of English vocabulary, coupled with his oratorical exuberance, has paved way for netting illustrious experience and reverence as communication coach in corporate houses of unprecedented renown such as Wipro, HCL, Daimler, Sutherland, and so on. We all wish and pray that the scholar emerald should gain more and much more splendor to shine bright and brighter with a healthy life still-hearted by joy and prosperity for years and years and years. Thank you, one and all.
Thank you, sir. A leader is one who lights the path to the impossible and takes those who follow to great heights. It is an injustice to proceed to the event without calling upon our wings of flight, our pillars of strength, and our constant source of motivation. I cordially invite our beloved Principal Dr. S. Sajid Sahib to deliver the introductory address to the August gathering.
Okay. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuhu. Good morning, everybody. I take it a proud privilege to be a part of this webinar organized by the Department of English of our college on the topic English as the window on the world. We know the importance of the language. Of all languages, English is the richest. It commands the respect as the only global language. It is affectionately addressed as the link language. This is why Mr. Jawaharlal Nehru respected it as a window on the world. But Its entry into the galaxy of languages is not old. It is just 1600 years old, but it has become the voice of the world. English is spoken by millions of people. It is understood by one third of the world population. It has spread to every nook and corner. People speak different languages, but many of them utter at least few English words, knowingly or unknowingly. English words creep into their conversation. This speaks a great lot about the popularity of English. Its influence is felt on almost all subjects. Standard books in all subjects are only in English. Majority of the conferences, seminars, and workshops are organized and conducted in English. Why? The main purpose is very clear that majority of the people can easily understand. Each country has its own language, be it Chinese or Japanese, Russian or Swiss, Polish or Greek, Persian or Arabic. Each of these languages has the mark of English. Along with the language, the English behavior has also made its way. People who do not utter English words are seen rarely. The whole world is using the machines made in England. So are the medicines patented by British companies. So are the scientific tools. This sort of usage brings to light that humanity is one, and thus science and technology get people together. And English language cements up such ties. It strengthens the cordial bondage. It connects people like a linguistic adhesive. And thus, English is not a door to escape, it is a window to see through and learn. I take this opportunity to the Department of English a hearty congratulations, especially to the head, Professor R. Panindar Rao, and Mr. K.Abdul Munaf, and all the staff of the Department of English for having brought up this wonderful opportunity as a webinar to induce the importance of English language among the students community. I take it a great privilege, and I'm grateful to the resource persons today who has kindly accepted to deliver the keynote address. I wish this webinar a grand success. Thanks for the opportunity given.
Thank you very much, sir. Reading is to the mind what listening is to the ear. A lighted lamp does not speak, it introduces itself through its light. Achievers never express themselves, but their achievement expresses. I deem it an honor to request Dr. Akhtar Habib Shah, Assistant Professor in English, Prince Saddam bin Abdulaziz University, Saudi Arabia, to deliver the keynote address to the gathering.
Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Esteemed principal, dignified HOD, and other faculty members. Good morning to all of you. Before I start my address, I am deeply privileged and extremely happy to be among the people who taught me what I am today. I'm basically native of Kashmir, but I studied in Chennai. I lived there for 8 years in Tamil Nadu. I visited Melvisharam twice, and I found the people of Tamil Nadu the most wonderful people. My success, I owe my discipline. I owe my success. I owe my education. I owe my character and values to the people of Tamil Nadu. Wonderful said, I have traveled across the world, but for me, Tamil Nadu is second home. So to be in this webinar is like repaying to my own people. So I'm extremely thankful to the college for having me in this webinar. Thank you very much. And now I start my presentation. The question today we are going to unlock is why it's important for us to learn English. And I personally am the biggest example of this, why English is important And I'll get to this point at the end of my presentation. First, I'll start with why actually, as a student, as a global citizen, or as a successful corporate or a successful student, why do we need English? So why English? And what's the reward do we get if we learn English? I want my students to listen to me very carefully, because I say that I'm one of the best examples that why English is important. I lived abroad, I lived in Tamil Nadu, and how English helped me to be in different cultures and to be academic, to have academic success as well. So what is the reward we get if we learn this communication tool that's English? Let me start with the statistics. There's something called NASCOM, National Association for Software Service Companies. Last year, they conducted a survey in India. And in survey, they brought out that 97% of students, professional, non-professional, they get job success, professional success, not because of their academic excellence, because they have their degrees or because they have high grades. What actually brings them success professionally, that is the hold on English communication. And one thing is completely clear that if a student wishes to have professional success, if he wishes to land in a good, rewarding job, the first and foremost thing that's required is having a grip on English communication. With this advent of science, technology, and with the advent of global shrinking, with the advent of people getting closer to each other, the focus from academic excellence has shifted to the communication success. In my uh, in my experience, in my going around the world, I have found many people in the world, despite not having excellent academic record, I have still found them having extremely professional, supremely successful careers because they have hold on English communication. So, dear students, if I gave you one major reason why should you learn English, I would go further and tell you that English is success. A professional success, if you wish or if you require, the first thing you need to understand, you need to focus that to learn English. I'm working here in Saudi Arabia. Despite they having their own people, we are brought from different people, different parts of the world, only because that we can focus on English communication. We can make them speak English so that they'll have professional success. So first thing, first point, if you need success, if you want to have good jobs, if you want work in multinational companies, if you want uh, explore global job market, the underlining thing is that learning. The first thing, if you want to fetch, if you want your education to fetch you success, you have to unlock the skill of learning English. That's one thing. No doubt about it that out of this college, once the people, maybe they're graduating or people who may be completing their masters, there's huge world waiting outside. There are a lot of opportunities. People are waiting once you have complete hold on English communication. That's number one. Number 2 point, which I would want to focus. With the advent of information technology, world has become actually a smaller place. No one is far. Everything is closer. I'm thousands of kilometers away from Tamil Nadu, and I still connect with you people. An advent of technology. Technology has not made us any more oblivion, or it has no more kept us talent hidden. Technology has actually allowed us to explore our talents, let people know our talents. The world is no more completely dependent on media. It has shifted now social media, where everyone, each one has window to the outside the world. I can be in the comforts of my room and still I can express my ideas to the globe. I can talk to people in America, in Australia, in Spain, in any part of the world. So the linking language, as the principal said, as a linking language, for me to connect to people, the bridge is, the key to connection to the people is English language. With this language, you can express your talents. It's no more. You do not need anyone to help you to express your talent, to let loose your talents. Just you write a page, click, enter button. It goes to the corners of world. So with English language, you can express you. I know a guy in Tamil Nadu. I knew he had written a novel which remained unpublished for so many years, and then it was put online, and it has now it has now thousands of readings across the world. So when you have English, it helps you to uncover your talents, uncover your skills, uncover your doubts, or even uncover your knowledge. So other important thing is that through the advent of social media, you can get to know about different cultures. You can know about different tradition. You can get to know about different people. This shall happen only once you have this bridging language, that's English communication. If you have command over this language, you can be in your bedroom, you can be in your classroom, you can be traveling on a bus, on a train, on a flight. Still you can connect with the rest of the world, where you can exchange ideas, you can exchange thoughts, you can exchange cultures, you can get to know people better. So the conflicts in the modern world, it's because of lack of communication. We have lots of misinformation, we don't have a bridge. So once we directly talk to people, we have, with the help of this linking language, we understand the world better, we understand people better. So other important thing is that we need to learn English because we need to connect to world, because of shortening the gaps, because of shrinking of the world, because of a global revival. It's easy for us to connect to the rest of the world, to exchange our thoughts, to exchange our ideas, to know cultures, tradition, people, and it shall happen only once we have a good command over English language. I stayed in Tamil Nadu for 10 years. When I came there, I didn't know a word of Tamil. It was the only thing that helped me to survive in Tamil Nadu was English. I was able to talk to people. It was never a challenge for me to stay there, to talk to people, to travel. It was always easy for me because I knew English. If I did not know English, it would have been a greater challenge for me to learn or to interact with people. Or here in Saudi Arabia, I live in Saudi Arabia, I talk to people outside, and the place where I work, we have people across the world. I talk to them, they talk to me, and for us to connect to each other is English. So once you have command over English, you become a global citizen, though with borders, but you become global citizen. Other thing, most people say that we need English for professional reasons. Some say that if you want to travel, you have to travel to the world, you need English. Cultural reasons, or we need English to form relationships. But learning English can have huge impact. Having fluency of English can have huge impact on human consciousness and global connectivity and the way we understand the world. English is without a doubt the universal language. And this is not a question about linguistic superiority. Learning English does not belittle or giving the importance that English language has. It does not belittle the language I know, my mother tongue. It's not about linguistic imperialism. It is about the reality that we are living in a modern globalized world. So this misconception that the extra importance in today's world is given to English, it's not about demeaning or belittling one's own mother language, but it's about a reality that English is a global language. It is about being a global citizen. And English is not only an international language or business, but it's a language of diplomacy, tourism, and it can open completely your mind to the new perspective on the world. As I said that the information you receive are through the mediums of media, and it can be misinformation, it can be biased, but once you have one-to-one connect with the rest of the world, you get complete right, you get complete authentic information, and you get to know the new perspective, a right perspective about the world. And I call this new perspective a global citizen. And it's a collection of process skills, character traits, attitudes that form identity that goes behind geographical, political borders, and that includes all humanity. We may not be free of borders in this physical sense, but we have the means. We have borders. We are not free from borders, but we have means, the opportunities, the responsibilities to actively participate in international community and in field of awareness that promotes a better, peaceful, united, diplomatic path to solving problems. The problems are many, they are severe, but if we are to save ourselves from our erroneous wave, we must explain our world wave to make space in identity for all cultures and religions to celebrate differences. As we learn, as we meet people from around the world, and as we open our minds to new cultures, information, experience, and ways of looking at the world, we unlock the hidden and life altering potential of learning English. And that makes us a global citizen. And here I would highlight 4 points mainly why we need English to become a world citizen and to have or to build a global perspective. First thing, communication is the key. The first and most immediate effect of English fluency is that you can communicate with people from different cultures, and this alone will transform your perspective. Nothing can replace communication, which is the gateway to human connection and relationship. No travel, no education, no intelligence, and not even good information can replace this. We can truly connect with people from other cultures. You're exposed to truth, which forces you to challenge the beliefs and stereotypes you have inherited from your culture and to put yourself in their shoes. This makes it increasingly hard to project your fears and misconceptions on others, and you realize that other people from other religions, cultures, and backgrounds are not as different as we once thought. This happens through the personal and professional contact, as well as being exposed and enriched by other aspects of different cultures, such as music, food, customs. They are all significant experience, but the key that opens the door is speaking the same language. As they say, they say that the limit of your language, the limits of your language are the limits of your world. The less you know English, the less you know about the world. In this sense, English has become the language of peace and diplomacy. Being able to complete and relate to people from a large variety of places is the first big step to global citizenship. It puts you in a position to transform your perspective not only about other cultures but also about your own. And you start to see that we are all in the same boat. So when you learn English language, if you focus on English language, you understand this language, you recognize the multiplicity and the unity. From fluent communication and human connection flows a direct experience, an understanding of all different cultures you encounter on your path. This allows you to break out of a strict one-dimensional worldview and start include perspective that may not seem so apparent to you. Our first impression may be that people from other cultures and perspectives are different or even weird. Uh, and this may create a huge impact. But when you have the language, when you have good communication, it understands you to understand the uniqueness of cultures, reflect back upon it with more awareness. This results in more balanced perspective that permits you to recognize both the positive and negative inherent in our cultures. To have, as one of the greatest speakers has said, that to have another language is to possess a second soul. Once you master a language that bridges you with the rest of the world, it's as if you have a second soul, as if you are also the citizen of other nationalities as well. You start to realize that even though the multiplicity is amazing and you value the uniqueness between cultures more than ever, your identity as a world citizen is much stronger than your nationality. The more that you connect outside of the political, geographical, and conceptual borders of your nation, culture, and religion, the more you realize your humanity is the strongest common uh, denominator that exists. Now, once uh, when you know the language, you understand the proper information. Once you have proper information, that gives you the right perspective. An important weapon on your path to global citizenship can only be through English. There is nothing more powerful and compelling than a large variety of good information, and no other language contains even close to the quantity and quality of information that the English language does. The more you read, listen, watch, and learn about the world and your country through a variety of alternative media sources, the more you realize that you have been misguided. Your entire life has been erroneous, incomplete, and biased information. The simplified explanation for this a, this is that in any given country, the people who control the information control the masses. In fact, 98% of corporate mass media is almost in any country is controlled by a small group of rich, powerful, and politically connected families that have vested interests. But once you have language of English, you do not need to be depend on the media which is controlled, which is biased. You can have first-hand information. You can connect to people on your own, and your information can be authentic. It can be your information cannot be misleading. So once you have, if you know, if you have good communication skills, the modern misinformations, modern media can no longer mislead you. You can have information on your own. I belong to Kashmir, a place which is a problematic place. When I first came to Tamil Nadu, or when I traveled to other parts of the world, the kind of Kashmir they tell me is not the actual Kashmir I know because of the misinformation of the media. But with the advent of social media, with the advent of technology, when I talk to people now, they have the proper information because the dependence of information is no more on the media. The information has moved from media to the social media. So This is only possible once you have good grip on English language. With fluent English language and access to internet connections, you can open yourself up to a whole new world of information that will catalyze your worldview and offer you the tools to enrich your perspective with many sources of information. To verify that, you always hear your local news and you educate yourself in English. So the first thing, uh, the first thing that English language helps you, apart from the other perspectives, is that you become, excuse me, you no more become prone to the misinformation. So apart from all these things, English helps us in a professional success. It helps us to bind the cultural gaps, to understand people. The other thing is that English helps you when you travel to the world, to understand people, to connect to people, to know about people, to have beautiful travel experience. You need to learn English. Uh, like you cannot leave the borders of your country or of your state unless you have good grip on the English language. And the most beautiful books, the most beautiful scientific papers, the technology, it's completely written in English. And if you want to have access to the good literature, if you want to have access to the good speeches, good political understandings, if you want to have good read some good literature, good book, the main thing you need to understand is English. Other thing is that the English is the language of media industry. English
Dear participants, due to a technical error, our guest has been logged out. He will rejoin us shortly. Hello, Assalamu alaikum. Suhail sir? Suhail sir, are you there? Suhail?
Yeah, I'm here.
Mr. Suhail, because of the inconvenience due to technical error there from our guest side, we are unable to continue this meeting. I want you to go through the scheduled proceedings. Please, the meeting has been.
So, thank you, Dr. Akhtar Habib sir, for your words of wisdom. Okay, a vote of thanks. It is rightly said, days are not lost when memories are created. Gratitude inspires happiness and carries divine influence. I request Dr. K. Abrar Ahmad, Assistant Professor in English, to propose a vote of thanks.
Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. My grateful thanks to all the viewers of this webinar. With profound joy, I put forth my venerable sense of gratitude to our most exemplary principal, Dr. S.C.A. Sajid sir, for extending matchless support in bringing up this webinar. My heart has taken wings to zoom to greater heights of scholarship on listening to the superb and splendid lecture by Honorable Chief Speaker Dr. Akhtar Habib Shah. I thank him with tons of gratitude for his kind acceptance to be the key speaker and also for his informative deliberation, which had been elegant like a verbal palanquin. The galaxy of gratitude shines brighter as I thank Dr. S. Mohammed Yasir sir and his team for their goodwill in broadening the frontiers of health. Drums of gratitude feelings sound louder, thanking the teachers, students, and all those that are watching this seminar. Their keen interest deserves a higher sense of gratitude and appreciation. Thanks a lot. Once again, I have a small announcement. Dear participants, due to technical error, we have been unable to continue the webinar. We will meet again on 21st for the next webinar. We always wish you your kind cooperation. Thank you. Thank you very much from the Department of English.
Suhail, sir.
Shall we leave the meeting?
The certificate will be provided within a couple of days. Thank you. The meeting is over. Thank you from the Department of English.